Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We're so happy you could be here to celebrate the holiday season with us. We're really excited to have you here, supporting the music program, supporting your children, supporting the music department. And we're really excited to perform our winter concert for you. On the stage, we have the 5th and 6th grade chorus behind me here. And our first selection for you tonight is going to be a piece entitled "Oh Music." Kind of an interesting piece. It was written by Lowell Mason, and Lowell Mason was one of the first to kind of introduce music education to public schools way back when. And this was probably one of the first songs that was sung rather, in elementary choir. So we'll start off with "Oh Music." The second selection we'll have the chorus sing for you tonight is "I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas." A little bit of a lighter selection. I really enjoy this song. I've been wanting to do it for a while. It puts a smile on my face every time that I hear it, but there's an interesting story that goes along with it, and I didn't know it until not too long ago. But the singer, I believe her name was Gayla Peavy, was 10 years old at the time when she sang the song. It made her famous, and I don't think she really thought she was going to get a hippopotamus for Christmas, but the story goes that there was some kind of organization that once she became famous and enjoyed the song so much that did a fundraiser and actually did purchase a hippopotamus for Christmas for Gayla Peavy, who I believe now, if I'm not mistaken, might be in her 70s, if I'm not mistaken, but she couldn't fit the hippopotamus in her house, so she then donated it to the local zoo. So imagine that. Imagine just writing a song as kind of a gag, kind of a joke, and the power of that, making it so big and actually making a hippopotamus materialize.
Don't wanna know, no thinky tinker toy. I want a
Yeah, some of that is a mouthful. Our next selection that we're going to perform for you is Silent Night, and we're going to try it kind of with a little bit of acoustic guitar, something a little bit different, kind of a different maybe flavor for it. So just give me a moment to kind of get that set up, but I hope you enjoy our rendition of Silent Night. So before we perform our final selection for the chorus, before the band comes on, I'd like to give a little distinction to a few of our students. So every year, PMEA, Pennsylvania Music Educators Association, allows us to send a few students to Chorus Fest, and fifth grade, at the elementary level, fifth grade gets to participate in this. This year, we were allowed to pick 4 students to send to Chorus Fest, so you'll see that designated in the programs too. But our 4 students, and you can go ahead and raise your hands whenever I call you out, are Jana Hertling, Tessa Kitko, Peyton Brink, and Bella Smith. So congratulations to those students. We're going to be going to... They're going to be going to Bald Eagle School District this spring. We'll be taking a trip over there and getting to partake in the Chorus Fest over there. It's always a lot of fun being able to do that. So congratulations to those students. So our final selection for the chorus, before we bring the band, I guess Mr. Spruill is going to do some kind of fruit basket raffle too as well in the intermission. But before we do that, we're going to have one more selection for you. It is Heaven Everywhere. And as part of this selection, we'll have a duet, Brooke Mahalko and Autumn Belair. So come on up and we'll get you set up for that. Thanks once again. Thank you very much. And there's one more person I'd like to give special thanks to, and that is Mrs. Mahalko for accompanying us on the piano. It's always a great help. Thank you very much, Mrs. Mahalko. And thank you for your support of the arts, and that's the 5th and 6th grade chorus for you. One more round of applause for them, if you would. Thank you. Now that we're on that subject, I'm relatively new to the district, and the first couple times when I called out roll in class and I said Wyatt, everyone was like, who? Who's that? Who's that? And then future superstar there. After a brief intermission, we'll have the band come back, and Mr. Spool has a special thing planned for us during that time as well.
While we're doing a quick switch here, the Music Association and the junior and senior high kids did a fruit fundraiser. We had some extra fruit left over, and we don't want it to go to waste, so the Music Association created 3 fruit platters, and we're going to raffle them off at tonight's concert. So how this is going to work is I have selected certain seats in the auditorium. The very front row is row A. The very back row is row R. So what I'm going to do is, I had a student here who was going to reach into the hat. I don't know where she went. I'll grab another one, but we'll have a student reach in, and I'll read it off, and if you're sitting in that seat, you're the lucky winner of one of the fruit baskets. So let me go grab a student. You got it, guys? All right, here's our student that will be picking the bag. Come here, Mr. Cervenak. All you're going to do is reach in and pull out a card. Okay? Do you want to read it or do you want me to read it? All right, here's the first one. So row R is the very last row. So if you're sitting in row R, here we go. Row R, seat 111. So seat 111 is going to be here in this center section. So there's number 1. Come see me when you're done. Get 2 more. Here we go, Mr. Cervenak. Okay, row J. If you don't know what row you're in, on the end, at the very bottom of towards the seats are the letters. Okay? So this is row J, seat 3, which is going to be on this side. Row J, seat 3. If nobody's in there, we'll pick another ticket. Is anybody there? Cool. Come see me when you're done. One more. Come on, Mr. Cervenak. You read the last one. No? Okay. Row E, seat 7. It's empty? We'll pick another one. If it's empty, you want to try to read this one? No? All right, go ahead.
Row L, set 101.
Seat 101. Row L. Hey, there's a third one. So after the concert, those 3 people come see me. I have the fruit baskets back here on stage. You can, platters, you can get your fruit then. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Cervenak.
All right, thank you for waiting patiently. We're ready to have the band portion start for this evening's winter concert. So in your programs, you might notice that I called the band the Cavalier Band, and the only reason I kind of came up with the name with that, I'm trying to kind of keep with this knights and horse type theme. Since we started with the fourth graders last year, starting beginning band, what we're kind of doing, instead of having like a fifth and a sixth grade band per se, it's more like a first, second year thing. So anyone who's in the Cavalier Band is second year, playing in their second year. But also, just not to leave anyone out, if you look in the back of the program, it says up and coming beginning band members. You'll see all those fourth graders and a few fifth graders and sixth graders too that started new this year. And it seems like it has a really good turnout. We have about 40 new that started this year, and we have about, I think about 40 here too. So I'm really excited to start this portion of the program. We're going to start with Little Chops Busted, which is just an on-stage warm-up because they didn't get to warm up before they came in this evening. So we're going to do a quick warm-up and then we'll proceed with the program. Thank you. So we're going to mix things up a little bit for tonight's band portion of the program. We have really, one thing that I'm impressed with this group is we have quite a few students with initiative, a really high level of initiative. I only had planned on putting a couple pieces on the program for a winter concert, just as many elementary band school directors probably do. And quite a few students came to me asking like if they could have an extra opportunity to play a solo or a section feature. And of course I said, well, let's see what we can do. And one of those students was Abigail Caldwell. So she's going to play a little solo for us, and she's going to play the first Noel. Nice, thank you. So next we're going to have the whole band play another selection for you. This one should be kind of familiar, Walking Around the Christmas Tree. Thank you. So now I'd like to take a moment to recognize some of our 6th grade band students that were selected for BandFest. BandFest this year is going to be at Glendale School District, a little bit closer than last year's BandFest, of course. But we were able to send, or we are going to be able to send 8 students to BandFest. And those students, just go ahead and stand up whenever I call your name, are Selah Priya, Madison McCoy, Alexa Sankey and Abigail Caldwell, Alina Keith, Ethan Snyder, who's already standing, and Abigail Reefer, who's already standing. Did I leave anyone out? And Abigail Toohey. How could I forget Abigail Toohey? I'm sorry, I just got lost in all the Abigails. There's quite a few Abigails on that list. I don't know what it is with that name this year. So next, we're going to have the saxophone section do a little feature for you. They're going to play Deck the Halls. Very nice. And I can't tell if that tempo is their excitement to play it or their excitement to get it over with. All right, so next we have an excerpt of My Favorite Things that we are going to perform for you. And just a little bit about My Favorite Things. This is actually one of my favorite songs any time of the year. And I think it's kind of a neat song because it can be used, it's used for several different purposes. Of course, it was in The Sound of Music. Also, I enjoyed listening to John Coltrane's famous jazz saxophonist play it as well. And it's also considered a holiday song, so it's a song with many uses. So we're going to perform an excerpt of My Favorite Things for you. I have to admit that I was a little bit ambitious whenever I arranged that for them. We had quite a bit more of the song. This is actually quite a tough song for anyone who's ever tried to play it, especially for an elementary band because it kind of cycles through a couple different keys when you're playing it, and it has all kinds of sharps and flats. So I know they were quite nervous about performing that one for you, but I think they learned quite a bit just by playing that little excerpt, and we'll work on putting the rest of the song together, so very good job, guys. Next up on the program, and let me see what I did with that thing here. No, we are going to have the clarinets performing up on the housetop. Started in two different tempos. That's okay. So we'll go. 1, 2, Is it? I keep bumping the button, sorry. Before we play our final, well, we actually have two more selections, but before we play our final band selection for you, I just have to share something with you that I saw last year at BandFest. We had a guest conductor at BandFest. His name is Dr. Stoneman from Messiah College, and he did a wonderful job with the kids. Very funny guy, but he did something that I recalled from my childhood being a band student, and he did like this little piece on the different types of personalities that are drawn to different instruments. And I don't know if they're drawn, if those types of personalities are drawn to instruments, or, you know, if it maybe works the other way around. But I found it quite comical, and so I'm going to shamelessly kind of copy what he did, and I'm going to kind of go through that real quick. So we have, and just so I didn't forget, I kind of wrote down a couple notes. I was excited to do this part of things here. So first we have the flute section, and the flutes can kind of be joined together with the clarinets. They are of a competitive nature, so they could probably be found in their spare time studying and perhaps maybe even judging the trumpet section for their actions. So that's the flute section and the clarinet section for you, or maybe even for the clarinet section, trying to make a Chip Reed work just one more time. So that's the clarinet section for you. And then that brings me to the next section of the band, the trumpet section. The trumpet section, one of the loudest sections in the band, one of the highest pitch sections in the band. So sometimes we get kind of a cocky kind of nature that's kind of drawn to that instrument. Trumpets in their spare time enjoy nice walks on the beach and conspiring to overthrow the rest of the band. And then we have the saxophone section. So our saxophone section also has a very distinct personality, and I don't exclude myself because I think I have maybe a distinct personality, I don't know. But the saxophone section can be found trying to get their instruments in tune, number one, and number two, sitting in a circle singing campfire songs. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny too. And then next, that brings us to the trombones. The trombones are the next generation of comedians this year. And the trombones are of a very experimental nature too. They can be found in their spare time disassembling their instruments, trying to put them together in strange ways and seeing what kind of strange sounds they can make while giggling at each other. So that's our trombone section. And last but not least, we have the percussion section. It's a jungle back there. So our percussion section tends to be very coordinated, very boisterous, very excitable. And along with the trumpet section, they can sometimes also try to conspire to overthrow the rest of the band as well. But they can also be found in their spare time being yelled at by their teachers for tapping on their desks. So I thought I'd kind of have a little bit of fun with them, but it's only fair if I kind of do the stereotype of the typical music teacher too. So the typical music teacher, myself not included, can be found staying up all hours of the night trying to do a fresh new arrangement of Jingle Bells and make it as hard as possible for the rest of the band when really all they want to do is play the tune and go home. So that's your typical music teacher for you. So I thought that was kind of funny. I enjoyed that. Our last selection for the full band tonight is going to be Jingling. This is one that we did last year as well, and they seem to enjoy it, and we're going to do it again this year. So I wasn't joking about the thing with the jingle bells just a moment ago. So very good job to the entire band. It's been a very big pleasure getting a chance to make music with them and do something I enjoy doing every day with them. And also it's been very fortunate to get to celebrate this time of the year with them and with you as well. So I'm very appreciative of that. Before you go off the stage though, we have one more performance. So we have Abigail Toohey, who volunteered to play a guitar solo for us. So you could go ahead over to the guitar and you can get that ready. We'll give you a couple minutes and I'm going to join you here. I'll accompany. She's going to play Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. But while she's getting set up, I just wanted to say a few words about private lessons real quick too. So Abigail Toohey is one of the few members of the band who have the pleasure of, in addition to the music classes and the lessons they get as part of their school day, she takes private lessons on the guitar with Mr. Oliver, so Mr. Eric Oliver, and I think he's in here somewhere. Yeah, there he is. He was able to make it, so that's great. So he's done, I have to give respect where respect is due. He's done a wonderful job with her. Private lessons are a great way to take the next step for those students who are really kind of into their instrument or into singing. And we have a few instructors in the area that offer that. And then we have a couple organizations like Front and Center and then Spots and Du Bois that are able to offer that as well. So, you know, I highly recommend that if anyone ever gets the chance to do that. That's a really good way to kind of take your playing to the next level. And also, another thing too, the district is looking for, and the music department is looking for ways to maybe even partner with private lesson instructors, either by referral or maybe some other form of partnership as well. So we want to know if you're a private lesson instructor, we want to know about that. Please share that with us. You can contact us and we can, you know, create a little list for referrals and maybe even talk about some partnership opportunities. So that would be much appreciated. So we're going to close tonight's concert with Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas and with Abigail Toohey playing the guitar. boy. Very nice job to Abby, very nice job to the rest of the band. Could we have one more round of applause for the band? Thank you. Thank you very much, and I know there were some sections that we felt good about, some sections we struggled with a little bit, but I will say one thing that I can say with some certainty is that they've come a long way since last year when they were just struggling to play hot cross buns. So very good job to them. I'm very proud of them, and I stand behind what they do. So very good job. Thanks to all for coming. Have a very safe, happy holiday, and enjoy the break. Thank you.